Hello students, today I want to welcome you to another social studies lesson for PSC, and in today's lesson we're going to answer some more PSC questions from different PSC booklet. And with no further delay, just a reminder that you can subscribe for quick access to all the different videos and lessons that will be posted. So we're going to start with this question. It says, to which of the places named below would people go to view artifacts of the ancient Maya? Is it A, St. John's Cathedral, B, Supreme Court, C, Bliss Center for Performing Arts, or D, the Museum of Belize? And our answer for this question is D, the Museum of Belize, because it's a place that if you want to view artifacts of the ancient Maya or of Belize, you can find it at the museum, which was once a prison. These are all historical buildings of Belize. Then here's another question. The scenario says, save our coral, leave the coral where it is, don't walk on the reef. Then the question says, the purpose of the warning given in the poster to the left is an attempt to A, help to destroy precious natural resources, B, encourage the removal of preserved items, C, promote abuse of the products of the reef, or D, preserve of valuable natural resources. And the answer for this question is D, is to preserve a valuable natural resources. And remember, we have to preserve and conserve our natural resources in order for them to be available to the next generation. The next one says, Belize is said to be a melting pot of cultures. The statement above refers to A, the decline of traditional practices within cultures in Belize, B, the merging of the different of cultures in Belize, C, ethnic groups insisting on eating only foods from their culture, or D, ethnic groups refusing to interact with each other. And the answer for this question is B, the merging of the different of cultures in Belize. And the melting pot coming together, it means that the Belize culture is merging and they are coming together to form one identity, and that is Belizean. Here's another question. It says, which ethnic group in Belize mostly uses the mode of transportation shown in the picture to the left? And as you can see, we could just watch a picture and we know that our answer is B, Mennonites. So this next question says, national population of Belize. Here's a bar chart showing Belize's population. And as you can see on the chart, every year from 1970 to 2010, that the population is increasing. Then the question says, according to the data on the chart, the population of Belize, of course, as we can see every year, the population is increasing. So the population is growing every year. Okay, so here we have another question. It says, the illustration below shows different types of families, which shows an example of an extended family household. And the extended family household is C, showing the parents, children, and grandchildren. B is showing siblings. A is showing a nuclear family, which is the parents and children. And D is showing a single parent family, which is the father and his son. So remember, extended, C, parents, children, and grandchildren. This question says, which of the following are roles of parents? Then there are 4 different roles. One says, maintaining law and order. 2, correcting children when they make mistakes. 3, providing guidance and counseling. And 4, providing food, shelter, and adequate security for them. And out of these 4 roles, there are 3 roles that are the roles of parents, and that's C, 2, 3, and 4. So 2, 3, and 4, correcting children when they make mistakes, providing guidance and counseling, providing food, shelter, and adequate security for them. Those are the roles of the parents. Maintaining law and order, that's the responsibility of the government for the citizen of the country. The next question says, the recent destruction of property by Hurricane Richard left many Belizeans homeless. Many citizens show acts of kindness to express their sympathy. Which of these is an example of how these people responded? So we're looking for the one that show act of kindness. A says, many ignore the victim's plea for assistance. B says, some people stole from the victims. C says, people gathered and gave food and other items to the victims. And D says, callers to talk shows blame the victims for being in this situation? And the answer is C. People gathered and gave food and other items to the victims. For C, the people are showing act of kindness and sympathy. Then in this picture, we have some different forms of communication. You have computer, and you have different types of cell phones. Then in the center, you have the internet. The question says, the illustration to the left shows, is it A, a modern way for people to communicate, B, a traditional mode of communication, C, how communication changed over time, or D, communication devices used in the past? And our answer for this question is A, a modern way for people to communicate. So these are the ways that we're using to communicate in today's day. So we're top of things, technology is advancing, so we're using the modern way to communicate. This next question says, some ferries like the one shown on the left, once used in Belize, are now being replaced by, and if you can see in our country, many ferries that are replaced by bridges. So not by roads, not by highways, not by boats, but several ferries that have been replaced, they are replaced by bridges. The next question says, the person in the picture to the left is using her telephone while driving. This practice is discouraged and is an example of A, good multitasking, B, as civic duty, C, responsible behavior, or D, irresponsible behavior. And the answer to this question is D, irresponsible behavior, because texting while driving is bad because it can cause accident. Many lives can be lost. So we have to be responsible and don't show irresponsible behavior while driving. Then we continue with this next question. It says, which of the following group of countries is located within Central America? A, Belize, Jamaica, and Mexico. We know that Jamaica is in the Caribbean and Mexico is in North America. Then B, Belize, Cuba, and Haiti. So we have Central America again, along with Caribbean. C says Belize, Guatemala, and Costa Rica, and that's our answer because Belize, Guatemala, and Costa Rica are Central American countries. And D, Belize, Mexico, and Colombia. So these are not just Central American countries. So our answer is C because these are the Central American countries. As we continue, here's a question. As we can see, it's showing 2 red flag with black dot, which is phase 3. It says when hurricane warning flag shown on the left is raised, it means that the hurricane A may strike within 72 hours, B may strike within 36 hours, C may strike within 24 hours, or D is no longer a threat. And this 2 red flag with black dot means that hurricane is likely to strike within 24 hours. 72 hours, you will just see an ordinary red flag. 36 hours, you'll see 1 red flag with black dot. And if hurricane is no longer a threat, we'll see a green flag, which means that all is clear. Then this question says, officials of Belize and Guatemala are scheduled to sign a special agreement for eventual submission to the International Court of Justice ICJ, which would set out the terms under which they would seek the court's intervention to settle the age-old territorial claim of Guatemala over half of Belize's territory. Then the question says, what is the name of the special agreement which is to be signed? And the answer for this question is C, the compromise. So the name of the special agreement between Guatemala and Belize is called the compromise. So our answer for this question is C. This one says, open and free communication within a democracy allows citizens to A, restrict news and entertain programs, B, conceal government affairs and wrongdoings, C, prevent the government from explaining its policies to the people, or D, raise issues of concern and hold the government accountable. And the answer for this question is D, raise issues of concern and hold the government accountable. So in an open and free communication within a democracy, us as citizens, we can raise issues of concern and hold the government accountable by calling the different media houses. So we could do that by calling the different media houses. Thanks so much for viewing this lesson. Look forward for more, much more coming soon. Remember, you can subscribe for quick access to all the videos and lessons that will be posted.